has your personal or professional journey shaped your perspective during your menopause journey? Having this complete change of my body and then running a business, dealing with stress, and then just that feeling of I don't recognize myself. I'm going crazy. It was a lonely journey. It was very difficult. Probably about 4 years ago, I was having hot sweats and things, and I actually thought, oh my God, I've got TB. Didn't even cross my mind that it might actually be some hormonal change. Now being more of a menopause advocate and spokesperson, and also I treat a lot of women now. It was about losing self and also losing your mind a little bit and who you are, and feeling like you're withdrawing from society because all these changes are happening, and a lot of mental health issues which affect not just your relationships but your work relationships with a lot of people, and your ability to maintain who you've been. So it's about that loss of self.
All manner of diagnoses. In the last 5 years, I've had adenomyosis, endometriopaplasia, rheumatoid arthritis, and all these diagnoses and big words thrown at me when I go see the doctor, and they do blood tests, and they're like, okay, so we're going to put you on this medication, we're going to put you on a Mirena, we're going to do this. So lots of things in this last 5 years that happened to me, and I was just responsive to what the doctors were telling me, not knowing that these were just temporal things going on with my body, just trying to adjust to whatever it is going through.
2021, I just noticed my midsection, the shift. I'm working out, I am eating the way I eat. I'm a nutrition coach, I love working out, but what's going on here? And so I went to see a doctor because I truly could not understand what was going on. And when I was in his office, the first question he asked me was, how is your sleep? The minute he asked me that, it's like everything connected, because I hadn't been sleeping from 2020. 2023, frozen shoulder, jaws aching. Yeah, that also is another symptom of perimenopause, compounded with the fact that the kids have also left the house.
I turned 50 last year, and it was my highest high and my lowest low in 1 year. And the person I was at the beginning of the year and the person I came to at the end of the year has been this roller coaster. It's almost like I've had to step out of my body, look at me and go, this is happening because of this. So I've been doing a lot of self-learning, and I learned a very valuable lesson about setting possibly goals that are so high that the journey at the other side, compounded with the menopausal journey or the perimenopausal journey, sends you into a spiral.
We'll hear about perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause. What are the different stages about? And also perhaps just highlight how we can manage some of these stages. Perimenopause is the transition leading up to menopause. And perimenopause is the tricky stage where women really start to feel the changes. Then we have menopause. So technically menopause is the one day when you haven't had your period for 12 consecutive months. And then every day after that is postmenopause. What have you seen and what can you share that can help us just manage through those stages? Essentially, estrogen is the main regulator of the female brain. So it's important for us to understand that when we're going through the transition, the thing that makes our brain work and keeps us in balance is being affected. So you're not going crazy, it's actually happening physiologically.
It's important to understand your numbers. So go see your doctors and get a baseline of where you're at. That's number one. The second thing is, this is now where the habit changes come in. Because if for someone like me, who I'd realized my A1C levels were off, and yet I knew I don't eat that many carbohydrates. And if I do eat them, they're mostly 90%, 95%, they're wholesome carbohydrates. Notice how you metabolize those carbs, number one. And number two, if you do eat your carbohydrates, go out for a walk. Why? Because your muscles are going to help suck in that glycogen in there. Balanced diet. The first thing I'd encourage us was you're moving into this stage, focus on protein, number one. Make sure you're getting enough protein. How much protein? Size of your palm. So every meal. Secondly, fiber. Fiber, I want you to simply think veggies. as many plants, and even look at your plate, just think how many plants are in here, and a variety of them. So a lot of plants. Thirdly, fats. Get whole fats, your avocados, your nuts, your seeds.
And just coming back to water and hydration, and then looking at how much water you're drinking, and then the salts that you're actually drinking with your water. So that balance of the two things. Just go back to being a kid. You almost want to go back and have fun with the sports that you're doing. It's trying to do things a bit more socially, trying to switch up activities. So hiking and biking, mountain biking, swimming more. So just mixing it all up.
When I look at the days, I start off with a good workout. It could be a run, it could be a cycle, or in the gym. I'm most likely to have a very orderly day because I've already set the tone for the day. It's my personal time, and it's holy in the sense that I'm giving myself a good start to the day. So for me, that fitness aspect of my life, I won't trade it. It becomes part and parcel of your life.
What happens now is our stress resilience changes during perimenopause and menopause because our hormones are changing. Kind of like you have this great structure where all the hormones are working and then they're starting to decline. And so the structure is kind of like, a bit wobbly, right? So any kind of stress, you feel the ripple more. Just think of that visual. So stress management is huge.
This sister says, I just learned that I am perimenopause. Wow, surprise. And then she says, when does it end?
Getting partners and husbands to start coming for things like this is a good start. I mean, I know one of the things I say is women first have to get comfortable with it so that you know how to talk about it, and then you start bringing your partner along. And I think that would be great to do something like for partners to come and have a conversation and have a man and male and female moderators.
When I mention this conversation, it's like, why are you talking about menopause? Why? I mean, to him, it's a conversation that should happen much later because it's for older people. And definitely, my wife is not menopausal. No. That means she's old. No. So I think it's something that needs to, happen more and more often until they fully understand that it's a journey we go through. And as Amina said, even up to 13, 14 years of dealing with symptoms until that last day.
In terms of fasting and exercise, I would like to say, please eat before you train, depending on, there are different schools of thought around that. But from my experience, when I was asking my body to do more, you have to eat. And you have to eat right. And you have to start thinking, when you exercise, as women, you have to eat protein within 30 minutes to an hour of completing your exercise. See what your body wants to do, how it wants to adapt. The coolest thing is there's choice, and there's all kinds of choices to explore. But be patient because you're not going to know in less than 3 months.
And somebody had asked the question about what is creatine, which is good for that muscle strength, bone strength. People always think creatine is just for bodybuilders. Even I used to think it was only for, all the bodybuilders who take creatine so that they can get bigger muscles. But all the research is showing it's really beneficial for women, especially going through menopause, and particularly for your brain. PCOS is about the musculature, vaginals is about the skin health. So when estrogen goes, the skin in the vagina, people might notice that their vagina doesn't look as moist and as red, and it looks a lot whiter and more painful. And to be honest, some people do develop a lot of vaginal atrophy, where then it's actually almost impossible for people to have sex. And I've seen women in their early 50s with this. So basically, if you don't use it, you lose it. Okay, once you've lost the vaginal wellness, then you'll have to go and see somebody to have laser and things like that. But joking aside, you don't have to it doesn't happen overnight. You don't have to go that route. I heard that if you've been refusing to give, you give today.
If you didn't return the phone call, you return it today. Because if you don't use it, what's going to happen?